Qindao Shao is a senior fellow at the Pangol Institution, joining us live from Beijing. Qindao, welcome. What do you make of these Western accusations? Is TikTok sharing data with the government, with the Chinese government, or are these bans on the social media platform politically motivated?
For having me. I can't help but love, who are using TikTok, young teenagers, dancing teenagers, seeing practices, funny videos. Does Chinese government need such kind of information to spy on New Zealand or the United States? This is a joke. Basically, you have to look further beyond this TikTok thing, the US. Remember, this is all launched by the US. I call it a campaign basically against China, or a new Cold War by the Biden government against China, simply because they can't compete with China in terms of economy, in terms of technology. So there's a fear and complexity in Washington that they could lose the number one global power, superiority. That's what they are concerned with. So they are doing whatever they can, basically fair and unfair, to attack China. The lies about Xinjiang, the attack over Hong Kong, and of course, sending weapons to Taiwan. At the same time, banning high-tech free trade, for example, trading in technology, and then attack Chinese company Huawei, remember. Until now, they provided zero evidence of what Huawei has done wrong. Simply, there's accusation of Huawei, what Huawei could do, and then they almost, of course, they destroyed Huawei in terms of this high tech, this obviously 5G mobile phone, because of the ban of the semiconductors, and now they are attacking TikTok for being too popular, for being too powerful. Partly this is about TikTok being too powerful. The U.S. companies can't compete with TikTok. Facebook, Google, they are not happy to see TikTok becoming overwhelmingly popular in the U.S. Secondly, it's really about attacking the China as a country. As the former Australian Prime Minister Paul Keating said recently, the only thing China has committed is that it has developed an economy as large as the US without copying the US system. So this is something the US can't tolerate.
Qindao, there are so many reports documenting how US-based social media platforms are being used not just for espionage, but to create unrest and terror in Latin America, West Asia, East Asia, and beyond. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I think if people are serious, let me put it this way. New Zealand's latest move, in a sense, is understandable. New Zealand is a part of the Five Eyes spy network led by the US. I guess there's little they can do if there's an order from Washington. And at the same time, as you mentioned, the spy network by the US and by the Five Eye countries, we know that was revealed by Snowden, a security agent, who escaped from the US prosecution by releasing the information, sharing the information with the world, because the American government is not only basically having surveillance around the globe, basically everybody, as long as you have access to Twitter, to Facebook, to Instagram, to say Google, the US companies, you are up to monitoring and supervising and monitoring and this surveillance by the United States. And the problem is that they are also basically looking or spying on American citizens. So this is something Snowden has revealed and refused to tolerate. And also there are documented US spying of, remember, former German Chancellor Merkel and former Brazilian President Rousseff and former First Lady of Indonesia by Australia and the United States. This is a huge scandal, massive scandal of American governments spying on basically everybody else in the world, including their allies. But now, because of the this looming Cold War situation, some of the Western states or the vassal state of the U.S., I guess there's no choice. They have to join Washington against China. But the good thing is like the only Western nations they are attacking China, but not the rest of the world. More than 100 of them. That's from the global south.
Okay, thanks a lot. Qindao Xu is a senior fellow at the Pangol Institution, joining us live from Beijing.